When I was first diagnosed with ADHD, one of the things I was told is no added flavors or no added colors, such as purple, red, blue, those being the main worst ones, of yellow and green being the least worst. But what exact effects do added flavors and added colors do to me? Do they just stimulate my brain more, or do they, on average, what have you noticed that they have? What have you noticed are the effects of those?
Yeah. Do you notice that those things make a difference for you? You know, if you have purple.
It has been quite some time since I've had any of it, but
Oh, you've done well.
and when I do have it, I have it in very small quantities, so I can't tell much of a difference.
Yeah. So parents often, you know, discuss that as an important factor, and researchers have tried to look at it, and there probably needs to be some more work on that. And the most up-to-date kind of summary we had was from 2013. A person did a summary of all the studies out there, and he thought that for a small group of people with ADHD, food colour additives or preservatives are important in triggering worse symptoms. But for many people with ADHD, it doesn't make any difference at all. So his guess was it's about 8% of people that would really struggle with that. And often it's obvious to parents. You know, they give you Fanta or whatever it is, and you go off, and then they exclude Fanta, and it's
Or
not quite so bad.
McDonald's.
Well, yeah, there's lots of preservatives in, McDonald's, etc. But it's quite individual, and it's probably like a sensitivity or an allergic type reaction. And so, yeah, you may be prone to that, but other people with ADHD may well not be. And we don't kind of think it's the main cause of ADHD, but it can be a thing that can make it significantly worse for some people. And then we would look at what you've done, which is like an exclusion diet. We get a dietitian involved, and if that was a strong factor, you'd get them to look at simplifying the diet and then gradually adding in some things and seeing how it went. Yeah.
And I noticed you said something about the sensory thing. Going back to that, I remember when I was pretty young, my grandma used to knit. They used to knit some sweaters and stuff for me, and I used to wear jeans. I remember those were very uncomfortable, and whenever I go to bed, I always wear socks because for some reason, when I can't, if I have socks off my feet, I feel in pain, or it's just I always have a sensory thing, and so and just for certain clothing or certain fabrics, I've got a sensory touch thing. Is that very common, or what do you think would be the reason for that?
Yeah, that is quite common in people with neurodiversity. And, you know, if people come to our service and we're doing an assessment, and it sounds like people are very sensitive to those sorts of things, like you're saying, we'll look at doing something called a sensory profile, which is sort of how various sensory things affect you. And yeah, trying to look at an occupational therapist would probably meet with you and look at some strategies to kind of help with that. But they're quite common. Yeah. And some people without ADHD or without autism also have those things, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.